Three comments have been made about the data utilized in the estimates. First, it is aligned with Garrison's definitions of neutral and natural interest rates. Second, as a proxy for the short-term interest rate, the primary 91-day Treasury bill interest rate was used. Third, all model calculations were based on the Asia-Pacific consensus and projected inflation for the Philippines. Hi everyone, Mr. Juan and I will be discussing the estimating the neutral real interest rate for the Philippines. To estimate the neutral real interest rate for the Philippines, we use the aforementioned four methodologies. We have statistical filter, yield curve, state space, and structural models. The statistical filter is the first methodology. The Hodrick-Prescott filter is a statistical filter that is often used in macroeconomics and refers to a data smoothing approach. The HP filter is frequently used in analysis to reduce short-term changes caused by the economic cycle. When these short-term shifts are removed, long-term tendencies emerge. These can aid in economic and other predictions related to the business cycle. Aside from Pirelli and Roche, there are several reasons why HP filter should not be utilized. According to an article published in the National Bureau of Economic Research website by economist and Professor James Hamilton, Hamilton first asserts that their filer generates outputs that have no basis in the data generation process. He also claims that the results filtered towards the end of the sample are completely different from those in the middle. The International Monetary Fund 2014 Global Financial Stability Report has noted a decline in real interest rate in many economies. Some of the reasons that could explain the downward shift in interest rates as follows. First, high global saving. Next is relatively higher demand for safe assets. Then, lower productivity growth. First, we have the high global saving. Income inequality is expanding, and a greater proportion of assets are owned by a small group of wealthy individuals. People with higher salaries tend to save more than those with lower incomes, which may have contributed to the drop in interest rates. Next is relatively higher demand for assets. The financial crisis caused uncertainty, which increased demand for secure investments, but supply did not follow suit. The situation was worsened by the fact that several assets thought to be safe previous to the crisis revealed to be risky. Last is lower productivity growth. Since the financial crisis, productivity growth has been slowing down. International debate has raged over whether this is attributed to the aftermath of the crisis or something more long-term. As you can see, Figure 1 indicates that the NRR for the Philippines is decreasing using the Hodrick-Prescott filter, with some periods showing negative interest rates. According to the IMF, some are tied with the global financial crisis, while others are associated with structural changes. Further examination of the NRR computations using the HP filter reveals that the BSP maintained a neutral to increasingly contractionary monetary policy stance by maintaining the policy rate from the first quarter of 2015 to the first quarter of 2016, despite weaker output growth and declining inflation rates. The second methodology is the yield curve. A yield curve is a line that depicts the yields, or interest rates, of bonds with similar credit ratings but different maturities. The slope of the yield curve helps forecast interest rate changes and economic activity in the future. As you can see, Figure 2 indicates that the NRR is lower than the real BSP effective policy rate, showing that BSP policy is frequently tight rather than loose. The yield curve method used the 91-day Treasury bill and 10-year Treasury bond rates, which is consistent with previous methods. Due to a variety of reasons, including currency rate expectations, inflation, and banking rules, 91-day T-bill rates in the Philippines have recently been substantially lower than policy rates. Thus, the NRR, if calculated using treasury rates, will be significantly lower than the BSP weighted monetary operation rates.